Hey guys, welcome. So today we're focusing on a stretch for the upper body. I always like to use a couple of tools in my stretch routines. So I have 2 blocks, I have my yoga strap, and I have a bigger resistance band. You don't have to have all of this. For example, for the bigger resistance band, you can totally use a towel that you put around anything that you have in your house, and we're gonna get started. So first, before we actually get into the stretching, make sure that you're well warmed up. So I won't do a warm up here. I would suggest you to do one of my 15-minute ab video to make sure that you have everything fired up into your upper body. And we're just gonna do a back exercise that I always love to strengthen even more through the back muscles. So bring your arms in front of you. On the inhale, you're peeling your chest up. Exhale, forward, as if you were swimming. Inhale, arms back, lift the chest. Exhale, forward. Let's do 20. Focus on your breathing. 4. Neutral neck. We're at 10. Push your feet firmly down. 15. 19, 20. Hands by your ears, pull it up. We pulse. 6, 4, 2, 1. Release. Bend into the knees, shake your hips left and right. Rise onto your tabletop. Let's take a couple of cat and cow pose. Inhale as you arch, still engaging into your core. Gaze up. Exhale, push your hands firmly down, round through the upper back. Inhale, arch. So as a cue in yoga classes, I often hear, when you're in your cow pose, I often hear drop the belly down. You don't want to drop the belly down. You still have some engagement into your front body. So you're not relaxing into your muscles. And circle. Allowing your elbows to bend. Relax your head. Change direction. All right, the first stretch we're gonna take is a Cobra, or Sphinx, or a seal. So you don't have to have your blocks, you can stay with your forearms down into the mat if you wish. So that might be your first position. If you wanna take it further, bring your forearms onto your blocks. We're gonna hold here. So same idea, whenever we're into this position, what's happening is that the top of my feet are pushing down, I'm lifting through my kneecaps, pressing my pelvic floor forward into the ground, and with your chest, you don't want to think of going back and crunching into your lower back, you want to think of pulling your forearms towards you to lengthen into your spine. Open your chest to the front. Your glutes will naturally contract. Allow them to naturally do so without being rock solid. Just let your body, your own body innate intelligence do the work for you. Sometimes we just overcomplicate things. if you want to take it even further, so maybe you find your seal by placing your hands towards the corner of your mat. Same idea if you're into your seal. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. You don't want to push your hands away from you. You want to imagine that you're sliding them in, opening your shoulders to the back. As you can see, I'm in an external rotation of my shoulders, pushing my chest to the front. And of course, if you have more space, you can also do that with the blocks. A long inhale, long exhale. Release. Rise onto your knees. Now this is where you're going to find, I have a small table here, but you can use a chair or your sofa, for example. Bring it close to your mat. And you're going to place your hands onto it, still externally rotating through the shoulders, so rolling your triceps under. My hips will come on top of my knees, so not too much to the back. Bring them more forward. And I'm bringing my chest as close as I can towards the ground. Keep externally rotating through the shoulders. And here it's also an active pose. So I'm pushing my hands down into the table or into whatever support you're using. I'm pressing my chest down. We're going to use some ballistic stretching here, so pulsing it down. Whenever you pulse, especially when you pulse, you don't want to do it with relaxed muscles because that could be dangerous. So keep everything into your upper body active and we pulse. So let's do 20. Neutral neck. 14. 10. 5, 3, 1, hold. Two more long breaths. Release. Same idea, so stay close to your support. Now this time you're going to bring your elbow onto your support, palm of your hands to touch, and dive your head low. Also pushing your chest close to your mat. And your hands will come as close as you can towards your shoulder blades. Slowly come out. We don't need the support anymore. Now the next one I want to do is coming to your pigeon. So that's why it's important that your whole body is active, not only the upper body, but also the legs. And you're going to bend into your back knee. Place your strap or your towel around your foot. Now here the intention, there are many ways to practice this pose. Sometimes we try to think of reaching our head towards our foot. This is not the intention we're going to practice here. We're going to practice this pose solely to open through the shoulders and the chest. So to do that, you're going to find your right hand, bring it as close as you can towards your foot, But then what I want you to do, instead of thinking of bringing your foot close to your head, I want you to push it towards the back as much as you can. So when you do this, you see that it opens a lot through the shoulder, but you still don't want to crunch into your lower back. So with your upper body, you still think of reaching your chest forward and lengthening into your spine. Deep belly breathing. Also try to keep your elbows shooting towards the sky without opening it too much to the side. Keep pushing your foot to the back and your chest to the front. Release. Let's do the other side. Bend into the right knee. Maybe you need to readjust your pigeon. And walk your left hand as close as you can towards your foot. Then push your foot to the back. Open your chest. Always ask yourself, when you're in a stretch, you should feel slightly uncomfortable, but you shouldn't feel any pain. If you have any pain in whatever stretch you're doing, just get out of it. And release. When you release, you want to release as slowly as you can, so without dropping out of the pose, because that's dangerous too. Let go of your strap. Let's take a puppy pose. So puppy pose, also option to find your blocks or doing without. Open your hands to the corners of your mat, chest down. And slowly come up. Let go of your blocks. Now the next one we're gonna do is wheel pose, and that's why you wanna make sure that you're really warm before attempting those poses. So if you're just starting with this one, I don't think you're warm enough to get into a wheel, so maybe stay into your bridge. But if you had your ab exercises before or any workout and you feel warm into your whole body, then let's get into a wheel. So place your feet, the sole of your feet, close to your glutes. You want to be able to graze them with your fingers. Push your hips high. Maybe that's where you stay today. That's totally fine. If you're going to your wheel, place your hands next to your ears. Pay attention to your hair and push up. Now, as we want to open through the shoulders in this stretch, I want you to try to lengthen your legs and really bring your upper body in between your arms. We're also gonna bounce here. Let's do 20. Relax the neck. 16. 14. 10. 6. 4. 2. Slowly release down. Open your knees wide to a butterfly. And just take a few breaths here. roll back up. Now this is where you're gonna find your longer resistance band or your towel. So attach it to something that is not moving. You're gonna take a side body extension. So here you might need to play with it to see where you're gonna feel it. I want to feel length into my left side body. So I'm gonna find this point where the resistance is enough so that I can really pull against the bend and feel length into my whole left side body. Also, you see what I'm doing here on my right side, but I'm not crunching down. I'm really elevating myself from the floor. So you still want to lengthen both of your side body. Both sides of your body, I mean. It should feel really good. And again, here the resistance band is just an added tension. You can totally feel the stretch without using any bend whatsoever. Switch. Release. Now before we use it for last exercise, I just want you to find a downward facing dog. And same idea, like instead of now straightening through the legs, because that works more on the hamstrings, as we're working on the upper body, I want you to press your chest down and keep your knees bent. So my arms are slightly wider than shoulder distance. Still externally rotating my shoulders, rotating my triceps down, aligning my neck with my spine. So find one big line. And we're gonna pulse it to 420. 13, 10, 4, 2, 1. Release down. Now last exercise. I'm going to come closer to the bend. Here again, you don't have to do this one. You can come back to the first pose we did, which was seal. What I want to do is to basically use the resistance again to get more of a stretch action. I'm going to grab it with both of my hands, so that can be really intense. Again, see what works for you. And you're going to pull it to the floor. We're going to do 20. 16. 10. 9. Exhale down. 6. 4. 2. 1. Hold it up. Wherever that's comfortable for you. And we're going to hold for 5 long breaths. Keep your elbows at shoulder distance. Elevate yourself from the ground. Still thinking of opening your chest forward without crunching into your lower back. And as slowly as you got in, get out of this pose. Release. Let's open your right shoulder to the side, or your right arm to the side, at a 90-degree angle. Roll over your right side body. And come back. Switch. Open the left arm at a 90-degree angle, roll over the left. And come back. Rise up. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining. I'll talk to you soon.